Hello, and welcome to my learners that are with me tonight and also to my virtual learners. To get the most of this asynchronous online session, it is best for you to find a quiet space that is free from distractions. Turn off your phone, close the door, and hang out the Do Not Disturb sign. If you haven't already done so, please run the audio setup wizard. I will check that there's a red button that tells me that this session is in fact being recorded for our virtual attendees. If you want to view this workshop later, you'll find it in the Pilot Live archives in our pilot course. Please click on the green check mark if you see a blue microphone appearing next to my name. Please give me a smiley face if you can hear me all right. And another if you can see quality check in the upper right-hand corner. This is the second in a series of 3 presentations that are based on our text, E-Learning in the 21st Century, a Community of Inquiry Framework for Research and Practice, written by Dr. Randy Garrison. Today we're covering chapters 4, 5, and 6. It's Saturday, January 21st, and my name is Cheryl Silcox. At the completion of this workshop, you should be able to describe the 3 presences that make up the Community of Inquiry Framework, explain how users can achieve the 3 levels of social presence, and give ideas for improving open communication and group cohesion. For our icebreaker today, I'd like you to open a new browser window on your computer and go to googleism.com. For my virtual learners, please pause the recording while you do this. When you type your first name in the search bar, Googleism will give you a list of things that the internet says about your name. I'd like you to read through the list, select 2 statements that are true about you and 1 that is definitely not true. Please keep it clean. Sometimes the results aren't appropriate for sharing. When you're done, come back and, using the whiteboard tools, list your name and the 3 statements. Don't indicate which one's true or false. I'll give you about 5 minutes to do this. Virtual learners, you can write your choices on a piece of paper. Okay, great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at each person's 3 statements, and we're going to vote A, B, or C, which one we think is not true. So for Leanne, Leanne says she's very busy, a lucky girl, and Leanne is her middle name. Which of these 3 statements do you think, A, B, or C, is not true? Okay. Leanne, is that true? Leanne is not your middle name?
No, Leanne's my first name. Teresa's my middle name.
Okay, great. Now let's do Brett. Brett says he's over the hill, a full service repair, and he's astute. Vote A, B, or C, which one you think is the untrue answer. Oh, we have one of each. Brett, which one is the untrue answer?
I'm probably not astute because I am not 100% comfortable with the definition. So, yeah, I'm totally over the hill though, and I do work on cars. So my whole family thinks I'm the full service repair shop.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on. As we discussed in our first workshop in this series, the Community of Inquiry Framework provides a structure for teaching in an online asynchronous environment. The framework addresses the three presences that are needed for this type of course. There's social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. Teachers and students need to develop all three of these presences for a good collaborative learning experience. Social presence is the ability of learners to project their own personalities to other members of the community. This helps foster a sense of community in the group and helps learners become more engaged with the content. One thing that creates a sense of community is when learners share personal stories with each other. Garrison warns, however, against oversharing because in a community of inquiry, it's best to keep things on the level of being academic colleagues. Studies have shown that groups work best if there are no interpersonal relationships to get in the way of honest, open collaboration. In our text, Garrison writes that in social presence, there are three important levels of communication that should be maintained. These levels are effective or emotional, communication, open communication, and group cohesion. In the asynchronous online environment, it's important for all group members to be able to project intent and feeling into their text-based comments. Through the content of their messages and textual clues, like using all capital letters, they can let the group know whether their comments are meant to be humorous, ironic, or taken exactly as stated. Emojis are also a good way to express emotion. Communication among group members has to be open and supportive. Every member in the group should feel safe to express their own ideas and should be able to offer honest criticism without the fear of hurting anyone's feelings. If group members don't feel that they can openly express themselves and offer constructive criticism to each other, the collaborative meaning-making will suffer. A successful community of inquiry will be made up of a group of people who are working together toward a single academic goal. For the best outcomes, every member in the group should contribute equally. As group members bring their own knowledge and ideas, a cohesive group will critically consider all ideas and offer feedback to each other. In this way, the group collaboratively makes personal meaning out of what they're learning. Okay, let's have a little bit of a review here. I'm going to ask you to answer A, B, or C. What are the three presences in the Community of Inquiry framework? Very good. Okay, let's go to one more question. Which of the indicators of social presence is about conveying emotion? Is it open communication, cohesive communication, or effective communication? Very good. Oh, Leanne, you changed your vote. Let's see. Okay, so we have one of each. Effective, C, is the correct answer. The second presence of the community of inquiry framework is cognitive presence. Members of the group need to talk critically and collaboratively with the purpose of constructing meaning of what they are learning. In our text, Garrison talks about the practical inquiry model that describes the phases of cognitive presence and provides a structure that we can use when planning to facilitate the learning process. In the practical inquiry model, there are 4 phases. Triggering is first. In this phase, the facilitator needs to catch the attention of the group and get them excited about their shared academic goals. In the next phase, exploration, is where information is gathered, and integration is where members make what they've learned their own and give it a personal meaning. Responsibilities for teaching presence include being the designer and administrator of the learning experience, providing direct instruction, and facilitating productive discourse. All of the members of the group should have a certain amount of teaching presence. So what does this mean for course design for communities of inquiry? That's my field, is being a course designer. Courses should be designed to encourage collaboration among learners. Discussion boards are a really good way to do this. In discussion boards, each learner has the opportunity to contribute to the conversation. Users can respond to each other's posts, and they're able to share and offer constructive suggestions to their cohorts. Also, if possible, synchronous online meetings are a very good way for collaborative learning. In the community of inquiry, we have the 3 presences: the social presence, the cognitive presence, and the teaching presence. It is said that asynchronous courses can be just as effective as face-to-face courses, especially if they're designed with the 3 presences in mind. And finally, once we're done with this session, I would like you all to go to discussion 2 in our pilot course and list at least 3 ways in which you could design your asynchronous courses to encourage the community of inquiry presences in your students. After posting, please reply to 2 of your classmates' posts. That's it, and thank you for attending this session. Goodbye.